I mean, I really enjoyed Dragon Quest Builders 1, and I'd probably have enjoyed 2 more if I hadn't played all through 1. Because 2 is pretty similar to 1, but, yeah. With, like, more stuff. But I don't know, I just wasn't in the mood to play 2 when I played it. Two is basically more of 1. I mean, so if you liked 1, you probably should like 2. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was just I wasn't in the mood, or if I just didn't want to do more, or if I'd had my fill. I don't know, but something about 2 I maybe never finish it.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you.
Oh my god, she does look cross-eyed sometimes,
What do
doesn't
I
she?
owe the pleasure of this visit?
Intense eyes. Yeah, that's about how they wound up here trying to find a pattern.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person.
Oh yeah, she didn't know
Did
we
you
told
find
them
a pattern then? What have you noticed?
Nothing really.
Oh, well then.
Nothing really.
Asking people how they wound up. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure.
What'd you find out? Nothing. Just wanted to chat. Do you know a way out of here?
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear
Ricky
it?
Tikki Tavi,
It is rather long.
Jesus Christ, Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Happy Wednesday, my dudes.
Well, happy Wednesday to you too, Serene. Thank you very much for the 54 months. You know, wants a thumbs up? There you go. Why not? Why not? I have time.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Say that again,
But I like to
Equita.
think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Perhaps the gods might kill you at any moment, fail their test, and they don't even have to tell you what the rules are.
A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose.
Yeah, I was ready to say. She starts talking and my character just goes like... And she ends the story just... Very interesting, very interesting.
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
I'd like to nominate Galerius.
I like the idea, but I know Galerius well, and his position has always been that he won't run unless Malleolus withdraws. It was only yesterday that he said to me he'd only ever run if it was absolutely necessary to make sure Sentius wasn't re-elected. So, I suppose if you'd like to see Galerius elected magistrate, you'd need to persuade Malleolus to withdraw somehow.
Who's allowed to vote?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend. Unless they're running, of course.
Women can't vote?
That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote. Vestal priestesses like myself. But in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain.
Fair.
I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the
Being fair and
outcome of an
independent. But you
election.
can influence them if you want, such as...
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
She's talking about my dick? What's your role in this election?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
What do we got, give me?
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
Keep an eye for Scintilla. Can I nominate other candidates?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Can we start the election now?
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk. But I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Want to get over and done with? Maybe prevent conflict between the voters? Never mind.
As you wish.
Talk about something else.
Certainly.
So you can force that to happen if you want. I'll be going
See you
now.
again soon, I hope. Keeping an eye on things,
Oh.
Horatius?
As always, priestess.
The chat.
Any news about Scintilla, Navia, or Kabash?
No sign of any of them, I'm afraid. But we do have a newcomer.
Yeah, me, hi.
Strangely dressed fella.
Hi.
Funny accent, too.
A traveler from a faraway land, then?
Seems that way.
Then let's
He was
make
eavesdropping
sure
and now
he
I'm
feels
eavesdropping.
welcome, shall we?
Of course, priestess. What is it, citizen?
Can we talk about Centilia?
What business is that of yours?
Oh yeah, but the suicide guy. I should go talk to him, shouldn't I? I'm looking for her.
A lot of people have been looking for her. But it's been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better?
I don't know, sometimes the fresh eyes help.
I suppose that's true.
I know what you did, bluff. Did you notice anything suspicious before she went missing?
Scintilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, her disappearance really caught me off guard. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might fare better though, I suppose.
I know what you did.
If you're accusing me of a crime,
You know what I'm talking about. Where is she?
you're grasping at straws and it's not going to work. We're done.
Damn. I thought I could bluff my way to victory.
Fresh meat, huh?
What's this guy again? I can talk to him now.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment.
Right, okay. This don't piss him off this time. I'd like to meet Malleus.
Too bad. He's busy. Unless... No. You don't look like you could afford it.
What? Afford what?
I'm glad you asked. See, he's a busy man, and this is an important day. He'll be inside practicing his victory speech for tonight. Left me strict instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed. So if you want to see him, I'll need something valuable in return.
Apparently when you just come here, you just... Because one of the things you can ask is why you speak in English, and he's like, you're speaking Latin. with a weird accent, but yeah. It's just like a throwaway thing, like rather than have them all speaking Latin or how you just like oh, that's why. No. You are not in the future. No, you're from the present day, and you've gone back in time. You're not 2,000 years in the future. Super Latin, yeah, super Latin. If you ever have a question about it, a wizard did it. How about the 100 denarii, or else what do you want?
Dunno. Something good.
This isn't bribes a sin.
Bribe? That's such an ugly word. What I'm looking for is more of a tribute to me, your soon-to-be patron.
Here's 10 denarii.
Hey, Caput Murde, Futuere es. Just make it good.
How about 100?
O Sinculio mio. Just make it good.
There's 1,000 denarii.
Whoa, you must really want to see Malleolus. Let yourself in with this key.
Oh. Thank you.
Just make sure you give it back on your way out.
Sure, I will. Man, that's a lot of money. But I got a key, and I guess I keep that key forever now.
Thank you. I am delighted and
This is where the guy drops
honored
into.
to have been elected your magistrate. Yes.
OMG guys, it's We Shop Wednesday. Did I miss it?
No, I haven't done Wii Shop Wednesday yet. I think we'll have to fire out a Wii Shop Wednesday towards the end. Note from Ulpis. Upwards to his lost love, may God watch over you. Please know that I held on as long as I could, but without you my life is meaningless. I can only hope to meet again in Gan Eden. Ulpis is the guy that jumps off, I think. Lydia, to her captors Melius and Claudia, curse you to the depths. By the time you read this, I'll already be dead. Oh wait, is it Ilya? Because death is preferable to another day in debt bondage to you. May vultures peck out your livers in Tartarus for all eternity. Interesting. Ilya, is she the other one? Anything else online? Any actual good games or just random weird stuff? The last couple of games just been kind of pants. I've played a couple like, what the fuck are these games? Hey-oh.
I'm not supposed to be in here.
Eh. I know. Where'd you keep the valuables? Can we talk?
Talk? What business could you possibly have with me?
Why are you locked in this room?
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much.
Fair enough. What's your story then, lady?
I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just barged into my villa?
Very
I
fair.
have quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private.
Very fair. So, do you know way out of here?
Preferably the way you came in, by which I mean, please leave.
Right, okay. What do you think about the golden rule?
I think it's about to be broken if you don't hurry up and leave.
Didn't they used to use, like charcoal as mascara or something like that? Do you know anything? Does she want us to stay or leave? Yeah, no, I can't tell. Do you know anything about Centilier's disappearance?
The dainty little thing from next door. Of course not. As much as I despise her father, I would never lay a finger on that poor, sweet child.
I feel like you're hiding something.
Well, I've had quite enough of this.
Uh-oh.
Domitius!
Uh-oh.
Come quickly!
Oh, no!
We're being robbed!
No, I'm not! Son of a bitch. Alright, you know what? Maybe we are being robbed. You want to be robbed? Well, then I'll rob you.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
I know it's going to happen. I'm just never quite prepared for how loud it's going to be. Ow.
Whichever god is responsible.
Oh no! Oh God, where am I? I never know when it's. I keep forgetting to like manually save, so I have no idea like where the fuck I am. Which one is this one? which cycle is this? I don't have 1,000 on me now, so I guess I don't know when this is. I also don't remember saving here. Did I already get the treasure from down here? I did, okay. Whoa, who's this one? Yeah, man. Let me talk to think. Wait, where did I get the extra 100 from then for the 1,000? I don't know if 1,000. I don't know where I got the extra money from. Alright, well, let's talk to some different people then.
Greetings and salutations. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and
I'm really not used to not having
and I must
auto-save in
say, my
games, so it really
sartorial
throws me
friend,
off.
your clothing is most extraordinary.
I feel like you could do with a save
Leather
maybe when you
boots,
finish
sandals,
talking to someone.
trousers with precise stitching. And such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the
I'll have to
markets of
remember to
Damascus
save a lot more.
to the farms of India. And never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must.
I mean, auto-save wouldn't be a bad
From
idea.
which exotic part of the world do you hail?
Because, I mean, if you can just go back in time anyway. It's like you could get yourself stuck. My nation doesn't exist yet. You'd never believe if I told you. From beyond the edge of the known world.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
I am a tailor. The way you said that then, how did you end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
You don't remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares. And droning in
people just
Corinth,
really
I
want to talk to
decided
you.
to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends,
The
and we
Tiber,
began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of
Damn,
that
party
compares to
animal.
this time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
So you floated down the Tiber?
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Interesting. Why is there a tailor shop here?
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
That stranger's name Karen? Yeah, more or less.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
Fair, suppose so.
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
Like that. Alright.
Anything you like.
Do you know way out?
Not so loud. What are you playing at?
Is there something wrong?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
The last attempt?
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
Alright, let me grab an apple then. I'll grab an apple if this is a long story. Alright. Tell me.
Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far.
Bane could do it.
But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars.
No, Bane didn't do it.
And
Ra's al
here the
Ghul's sister
second
could
option
do
is to leave
it.
the way
Daughter.
we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
I can do that.
I admire your enthusiasm, my friend, but please allow me to explain why this is inadvisable. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They He even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice saying to the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends.
Oh.
So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place. And so I say, it is best to not
Yeah, I
even
like
discuss
this.
it aloud.
I like this. I like the kind of going around talking to people, finding out stuff about them, and then like solving the stuff. And so interesting. So, just the idea of like the beginning. So just the beginning, like you're like, you have committed a sin, and you're like, well, no. I was just carrying a ladder down a hallway. I wasn't doing it for anything. Oh, so, hang on, let me get the right voice. You have committed a sin. Like, no, just carrying the ladder down the hallway. I was just, just gonna fix the roof, Oh, sorry, my bad. Cancel that. Don't need to kill anyone. Golden statues. Sorry about the person that already got hit, but no one else. Okay, cool. What do you think about the golden rule?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Why'd you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone
played that game.
and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
What can we do about it?
If we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, avoid doing what you would blame others for doing.
So simple enough. Easier said than done.
Regrettably, I think you are correct, my friend. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I know I've seen it happen.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss.
No, I mean, I've seen it happen here.
But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the golden rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
True. You gonna vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning towards voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
You think I can do to change that?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
And who's threatening Virgil?
This is troubling, is it not? I'm afraid I have no idea. It is ridiculous, though. Virgil is a fine man. But my young friend Fabia confided in me that she saw someone leaving graffiti on his shop front last night. Perhaps you should ask her about it.
Interesting. Okay, let me go now.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
What's this guy again?
Name's Rufius. Better watch your
Handsome
step.
chin boy. Where we're going now?
Whatever.
There's a guy in here I never talked to. Oh, lady.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cubulatus Decius won't give it to me.
Perhaps I can help. Decius.
It's too late. She just slipped away.
You have committed a sin.
What? What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally, I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule.
Maybe she wasn't poisoned by someone.
Come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Could it be because she was bitten by a snake? I'll never know why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes. Other than maybe the fact that it was a snake that bit her. Something else I can do to help?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen.
They really like
because
the
if I
1,000,
lose
don't they?
another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetricum fututo and scratching his eyes out.
That's dangerous too.
Then you'd better get me that silphium quickly, hadn't you?
Oh! It's alright, it's fine. I'm gonna have so much bread. Just keep taking bread every time I come around. Who's this guy? Oh, this is Decius. He wasn't here last time.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Decius.
Uh-oh.
Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
Wait, hang on. Was Yulia the poison one? Yulia was worked for Thingy. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know whose name. Everyone's names are so close to each other and this confuses shit on me. What's your story?
You mean, how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Go on.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society.
Is Yulia the person at the top that was scrubbing the floor, or have we not met
Lots of
Yulia?
foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, hoping to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing through a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables.
I think
But,
Yulia
to my
is
surprise,
dead.
we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
Threw the girl in the river. You chose the cart, didn't you?
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
She took her with you after all. So you took her with you after all? I can see where this is going.
Naturally, I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Well, my commiserations.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune.
That was
because
sarcastic,
this place is
Decius.
a
That was
veritable
sarcastic.
treasure trove. Look around you. There
Never
must be
mind.
more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
I was being very British then. Oh, my commiserations. Yes, yes. Oh, what a terrible thing. Who started the fire? The fire in Rome? I think that we said it was... I mean, historically, it was Nero, but then he blamed the Christians.
I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Keep an eye from. Think about the golden rule.
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck.
It's like a horrible...
But if you happen to find one,
it's just their
bring it to
eternal
me and we'll
punishment. They've all done something terrible, and this is their punishment is to live in a city that if anyone else does anything terrible, they all get turned to gold. And then have to live life as a statue. Possibly being able to see things? Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
See what I can do. I mean, yeah, we woke up on the side of a river, saved by Karen, and sent into this place. I don't know if Karen is some kind of evil being that's doing this. Some evil Karen. Let's see what I can do.
Thank you, friend.
Any idea who's threatening Virgil?
I don't, I'm afraid. But I did overhear Fabia telling Georgius she saw something. She was headed to the baths not long ago.
Who are you going to vote for?
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
I'd like you to vote for Sentius.
Not going to happen.
Need some Sylphim resin.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
I am price gouging over life-saving medicine. What is wrong with you? Why'd I come up with 1,000 denarii?
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job,
right.
work hard.
If I get 1,000 again,
you should be able to afford it within,
get the key.
Say, 5
years? Rob them the 2,000. Go back in time. Then I have 2,000. Then I can just go back and get 2,000 whenever I want them.
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
Take it. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
The whisper?
You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands.
What's a Navia?
She claimed the statues were whispering to her.
Oh.
Nobody else could hear it.
Uh-oh.
Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again.
Oh, she's the one in there.
I digress. Do you want this Sylphium or not?
How about I just take it instead?
Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule, and we'd share the same fate as the last lot who lived here. Is that what you want?
Don't know for sure. I'll take my chances.
Don't you dare.
I should really not be listening to the voices in my head telling me to steal things and jump off cliffs. It seems like a really bad idea.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Mine.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
So loud. So loud.
Hide!
Follow me, quickly.
Oh, God. No, the ones that look like Aloy, they suddenly grow bows, basically. To raise the what? Oh, right. We're doing that. Crandall and I got lost.
Oh, is that right? Well, just make sure you don't get lost in any other sacred places you're not supposed to be. Can't have you disrespecting the gods by accident, can we now? But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine.
Don't worry about me, I know what I'm doing.
All right, friend, suit yourself. Just don't do anything too reckless till you've spoken with Magistrate Sentius in his villa down there. See you around.
See ya. Yo. I can hear you.
Oh, you're here. I'm so glad you decided. And, there's a...
Not interested.
Oh, I see. You prefer the company of men. Maybe you should go and make friends with Virgin
Yes,
instead.
because if I'm not interested in you, I'm definitely
I
the
take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore. Let's just forget that ever happened. So,
Man, literally, you can't please this lady. If you don't want to be with her, then you're just gay, apparently. I guess I'll be going.
all
now.
right.
You,
See ya.
Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree.
Can't win with her, can you? You hit on her, she's coming on too strong. You flirt with her slyly. She says you're trying to be funny and she
Don't you
doesn't
just
like
love
it.
springtime?
There we go, right, that's a file. Alright, well, we got the thing for the lady to get healed.
What are you doing in here? She needs the resin of a...
I have Sylvan resin. Here, take this.
What? Quick, give it here. Yulia,
Oh, that is Yulia.
You
Okay.
need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed
Yeah,
this exact
very
thing?
fascinating.
And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
I am, yes. I'm a time traveler.
A what? I'm sorry, I must have misheard you. I think it's your accent, because it sounded like you said time traveler. But whatever kind of traveler you are, that was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
I'm just a doctor now. What's your story?
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been feeling ill ever since she
Nevia.
disappeared.
That one they mentioned
I'm
before.
tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
Wow, how'd you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked. and turned into an awful philanderer.
Yeah, okay.
I
Classic.
would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
Why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
And what about Navia?
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good too, until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues. Like she could talk to them.
Yeah, crazy.
And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed, and he's in constant pain.
Yeah, Dina, welcome back. Who?
I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry
Or maybe it's
he'll
that guy
end up
wandering
losing
around
his temper and
with
lashing out.
the sweet chin.
And you know what that means. I just know Navia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
See what I can do.
Thanks, I suppose.
Figure out a treatment for rheumatism. Okay. Do you know a way out of here?
I wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here.
All right.
I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything you can imagine.
What do you think about the golden rule?
A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
Me and the statue's whispering. Is that normal?
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Navia, and she went a little mad. Well, she suddenly, the last time, and then she's been gone, but I really wish I could reach one of my...
Okay, go on.
He's become so irritable,
Yeah,
just...
Just read it this way.
Thanks.
Can you talk about Ulia?
Sure. What do you want to know?
She was poisoned or was it self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it. Gladly.
I mean, her letter made it sound like she did it herself.
That's a shame.
If that's her.
Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
He was like, God damn it, dude, why'd you freaking save me? She's out. She's left.
Salve. Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Can I ask what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
I wonder how someone poisoned you without breaking the golden rule.
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and
They don't speak
Claudia
English.
are
We just understand
far
Latin when we're
crueler.
here. We actually, there's a thing at the start where you go, "Why are you speaking English?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? You're speaking Latin." Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
Can't help but I like that they covered that right at the beginning. Like, yes, they're talking English, but they're actually talking Latin. We just don't want to have to do everything in Latin because that would be annoying. And then, you know, I'm happy listening to them talking English. I can't help unless you tell me what happened.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
Go on.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out,
She's the barkeep, right?
I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus.
Which is what she
And I
suggested to
did.
us as well. Thinking you'd be out of here before you ever had to pay back the loan.
I'm not proud of it, but yes.
Whoa,
I was
maybe they're in some
surprised
kind
he
of
agreed
cahoots,
to it,
you know?
To be honest. But I was so happy to have the money I didn't question it. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years.
30 years.
But I figured I'd be out of here
Dude, there's
so
money sitting in
soon
chests.
it
Just go
wouldn't
get those.
matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
That's poison, right? Right, yeah, someone did guess that. They were like, I bet her thing is that you die. Yep, that is what her thing was. This is on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One. Yeah, it's on like loads of shit. What's hemlock?
It's a deadly poison made from a plant. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying,
Oh, I was saying
"Let the
that because
buyer
that was the
beware."
thing that my character was saying.
Then she
I know
just
hemlock's
looked
poison.
at me with those cruel black eyes, and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
Damn.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. confiscated everything I owned as collateral and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife, Claudia, was just as bad. She set me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed
We're definitely going to go rob them now.
Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing.
Key?
My hemlock.
Oh. So you poisoned yourself?
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
Sorry to hear that.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
Come to you now.
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course. I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me.
It's all right. You'll be dead in the next. You'll be dead in the next cycle anyway.
At
it's
least
fine.
until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
How much did it cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide.
Oh, the
pact
guy that
with
jumps off the
last
thing.
night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
We can go chat with him. So I can help him too.
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
I'll see what I can do.
All right, but please don't take too long. You mean my life story? Oh, well,
Yeah, probably should
I
let
grew
it
up
that.
as
Before we
part
do
of
that
a
though,
big
tell me
family
about
in
yourself.
Rome. Me and 3 older sisters. Our father found good husbands for my sisters, but I wasn't cut out for
So
that
what's your
kind
story?
of life. So he found me
Sorry, I'll
a
make it
job
in a
as
different time.
scribe
It's all right,
for
don't
a
worry about it.
prominent merchant. It was a good life.
We're in a time
for
loop.
while,
Nothing means anything anymore.
until 7 months ago when the fires came. My colleagues and I worked desperately to try to protect our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless and it claimed everything and everyone. Well, almost everyone. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river, and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here.
That mean you'd have to start over? I think I bet you they'll have some kind of quick quest for mechanic thing. Something to let you. I don't think they'll make you do this every time. I think they'll have something to let you skip around it. Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. But to be honest, sometimes I think dying in that fire might have been a blessing, given what's happened since.
I understand. Nah, I think I think they'll let you skip ahead.
If that's your idea of a joke, it's not funny. Go away.
Whoops, I forgot about that. Sorry.
I know what...
Oh no, I didn't mean to. Whoops. Hey, do you know way out of here? Oh.
May Apollo keep you safe.